shadows lie, here they find a brighter sky. Every step, every mile, they're reaching for the American style. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. Factories hum with a steady grace, ideas born in this boundless space. A light bulb flash, a towering steel in every corner. The promise feels real. From the ground to the stars, we're built on dreams, we're raising bars. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for.
Sorry about that, folks. My camera was still engaged by Zoom. I forgot to turn the Zoom off a few minutes ago, so busy running around here. So welcome back to the program. It is Kaffee Klatsch. We are an hour tardy. My apologies for that, but we had a very long interview with a refugee family in Greenville, South Carolina. So I hope that those who caught that enjoyed it. Thanks to 200 plus people currently here. We'll try to answer your questions as best as possible. I did notice an awful lot of new people that showed up for that commentary and that stream, asking all kinds of questions that, wow, strange, very strange. Yeah, so hang on a second here. What's this? So yeah, okay, work people, welcome to Patrick. Thank you for your membership. Gypsy Milan, Deanie, Mays, Peter Feldman. No, you didn't miss the show, man. We had another program that ran long. So this is the third broadcast of the day. The first one got in trouble with the slow data. This one's having slow data as well. I apologize. I hope the sound will come through okay. Pikachu, welcome to you. Sally, hello. Neff, welcome to you. And somebody said they're running out of patience. I appreciate that. I understand where you're coming from. Lorraine says, wonderful interview. So happy the families have gone over. Remember, you say it's not a 30% pass rate for schools. No, it's not. You have to perform. Wow, long haul for the Colonel. Oh, yeah, Maze, I'm always doing long hauls. Yep. It was a very good interview indeed, says Barbie. Well, thank you for that. Okay. There was someone to complain that they called them leftists because they have black children. That was uncalled for. I deleted that comment. Also, somebody at the end had a very nasty comment, which I deleted from the video. People think they're clever and try to put their comments in there. Mods, you got to pay attention to that. It's good if a mod or two hangs around until the chat stops, because YouTube doesn't stop the chat for a minute or two. If people keep chatting, it keeps going on for a couple minutes. Eventually, they stop it. But some people like to snick nasty things in there, and I just caught something nasty that was put in there. I delete it. Kathy takes my hat off to you. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Kathy. It's my pleasure. Patience cannot be bought. Either you're patient or you're not. Well, I've been a very impatient person almost my entire life, so I appreciate where people are coming from on that. And Yakuth says, thanks for the great interview. Well, thank you for the super chat. Nikki Boswell gave a super chat. It was a 350 Rand, I think, in that stream. Maybe I missed that. Someone said check it. So my apologies, Nikki. Thank you for that. And Brendan says, I'm here. Excuse me. Good Lord. I'm here. Welcome to you, Brendan. Sorry, I'm looking at, and the audio is good. Okay. All right. Thank you. That was your best interview yet. We have an autistic son. It was so great to hear their story. Approved in September. Trying our best to be patient. Okay, Just Jill. No, I think a lot of these interviews are very good, but everyone approached it from a different perspective. I think some dudes were kind of excited about the last interview, so they weren't talking about that one. And Pikachu enjoyed the interview. Platinum Beard says, what gives you more net income? Listening to DJ Silvery or Spotify on YouTube topic. I believe that's what I get the most from. I could be wrong, Platinum Bear, but I get it from YouTube in general. But Spotify, I make almost nothing. But if you're trying to help that, thanks. Werner Kruger thought it was a great interview. Thank you for the interviews. Helped so much. Well, that's the idea, Jane. C-word. That's why I do it. It's certainly not for the money. I mean, it's certainly not for giving up my time. I mean, life is precious, and I'm spending it doing this to help you guys. You see, Colonel, this is where I take issue with you. I had over 1,100 in the previous chat. It's like people trying to see how they can beat the system. You take issue with me. What do you take issue with me? I don't understand what you mean by that, Alan. I appreciate you taking issue with me, but please explain, Alan McGill, what issue? You take issue with me because 1,100 people watched my stream? How is that taking issue with me? I don't understand. I'm missing something there. Andre says, kick ass, Colonel. Appreciate all you're doing. You're welcome. Okay. Brendan, both of us here. I don't know why people are so nasty towards others. We could all help one another. I don't know why people are nasty to me, Evan. Oh, Yaku, don't worry about the music. It wasn't a strike. It's just I can't. It's the video's blocked. Some people can't see it. It's fine. It's a Night Owls. I took a risk. I'm just surprised. I mean, you must have an agent or have a service that looks for copyrighted music. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about Yaku. It was my choice to do it. And it was not just your video. It was 3 videos, including the tubes. And the tubes were on for like 2 seconds. They didn't even play the tubes. Anyway, but there were 3 of them on there. It was Buffalo Stance by Nina Cherry. So there were 3 of them. What is this? Hey, Chris. So, what's this? Yes. Sorry. Sorry, guys. All right, not with you. People that just come on a certain broadcast, see how they can take notes to beat the system. Yeah, no, but I mean, but that's why we have this broadcast. And that's why I refuse to answer questions about refugee things during the news. We missed what their accommodation now is like their hotel. Did you see it? It looked pretty nice. It would be nice to see their setup. Well, I mean, that's very intrusive, Blue Oogies. I mean, to look at their home, I mean, that's very intrusive. I have a video from someone who was attacked on a farm last night, and I didn't show that video because that would give away where these people live and their home. On premium list to my nasty neighbors who keep watching me smile, I'm in the pool. Okay, Maze. Back in Cape Town, I can say with confidence the rest of the country has become a crap hole. Okay. Looking forward to seeing your live meet. That would be really cool, Rena, if they're able to do it. They offered to drive up here, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Let's just do it on air. I'm happy to do it. It'd be great if they come back, and I will pay for that night of accommodation for them. Yep, I'll take care of that. You didn't acknowledge my super chat, but you're forgiven. I didn't see a super chat from you, Mike. I acknowledge there were 2 super chats in that stream. Let me go look. Let me go super chats. Oh, well, your super chat didn't come until after I shut down. No, there were only, oh, wait a second. No, I'm sorry. No, I did acknowledge. I did say that about Emma Grimbeck. Beak, did I not? My apologies for that. Your dad's sister. I thought I read that. That's on me then. I thought I read that comment. Discord. No, I'm not doing Discord. Verizon Phoenix. I have an account, but I don't do anything there. I just meant if it's flat or a house. It's a house. Gotcha. No, they're in a house, as far as I know. Outsurance would like to wish you a very happy 59. Well, thank you for that, Michael. Michael LaRue. I'm worried about people whose info has been leaked in the raid. Nobody's info has been leaked, Brendan. Where do you get the idea their info has been leaked? We have no evidence that anyone's information was leaked. Also, had it been leaked, we would have heard from somebody by now. So, thank you for all you do. I have patiently waiting since 15th February. Had my UCS interview in mid-November, no medical. Okay, all right, hang in there, Anton. Asked if he can email you about 10 forgotten families. Sorry. No, I didn't see that, Sally. He can email me, of course. What do you mean forgotten families? That doesn't really help me out. Forgotten how? They've arrived in America not getting help. People that are in South Africa that haven't gotten out. People who were scheduled to fly from the 26th of September to the 10th of October and are still stuck. There's lots of forgotten families. I'll need more information on that. But thank you. You can email me. I saw somebody put my email up, one of the mods during the stream. So if you put them in a FEMA tent, we'll all be jealous. Thank you for shedding light on more interracial blended families. Our family appreciate it, and it's great to see. Well, Luva, I've always done that. I've always been honest and forthright about this and told people the truth about what's going on. Jackson Million says for an interview date. Huh? Oh, she's answering Peter Feldman. Okay. Relative new here and find the channel super valuable. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for that, X25 Zugi. Okay. Know of anyone being rejected? No, I don't know of a single person rejected. I do know about the 2 fraudsters who were not allowed to apply for the program. They were caught at the screening when they went to the Refugee Processing Center, and they were already identified. The FBI knew who they were. There were also refugee applicants who were there that day, who were being interviewed, who knew who they were, and had already submitted complaints about them to the embassy and to the FBI. Yep. Is there a pattern on where larger families get placed? No. No, there isn't a pattern that I can see, Sean. It's, again, it all comes down to absorptive capacity and resources. And ideally, as they kind of indicated, if you're able to put you in a place where there's an industry that you can move right into. It doesn't make any sense to send 10,000 people to Maine who are shrimpers when there's no shrimp in Maine. Send them to Louisiana, if you get my point. Nobody's info is leaked. We all stood there with all our info in our big manila folders. If they wanted our info, they would have taken our files. Thank you, Ananda. Thank you very much for sharing that. Yep, exactly. That's what I said. Nobody's info. The only question was whether they got access to a sign-in log or at the front gate. What we do know is that News 24, busy being the rat scumbags that News 24 are, ran up and did an investigative report the next day and went to Woodmead and talked to security guards who had a copy of an email telling people what they're supposed to do. And that's probably because they had a generic email there so that they knew what the email looked like. Because, I mean, the guards aren't the brightest of people sometimes. So they probably had a generic email that says this is what it should look like. When they come with an email, it should look something like this. So that explained the process. So that News 24 breathlessly reported on that because they're scumbags. You heard me, Peter Dutoy, Adrian Basson, Koosbecker. You're all scumbags. You endanger people's safety for a couple clicks. What a shameful batch of people. Still in South Africa, they have 2 canceled flights. I'm not aware of anybody that's had a canceled flight, Matthew. That's interesting to me. I would love to know about that. Put the email up again for Matthew Fundameva, please. One of the mods. I assume there's a mod here. I haven't seen. Oh, there's Monster Max is there. Every time I watch one of these interviews, I get hopeful and excited. Well, okay, Blom, great. Matthew Schaefer, 70 rand. Thank you so much, Colonel. Appreciate everything you do for us, and thank you again for the interview. It really helps a lot. Can't wait to have an interview. Well, I can't wait for you to be here either. That'd be pretty cool. Again, not encouraging anybody to leave, but also it's not my role to tell you not to leave. That's a decision you have to make for yourself. But it was mentioned a couple times in chat. Look at all these wonderful South African families and their smart kids who won't be contributing to South Africa's economy. America's gain, South Africa's tragic loss. Do you a Zoom interview, an in-person interview, or just a person? Huh? Can I ask also, do you do a Zoom interview and an in-person interview or just the in-person interview? Peter Feldman, I do the Zoom interviews because these people are all over the country. I can't go everywhere. I have been to Alabama, interviewed the Langton family in person. I have been to to Idaho and interviewed Willem and Kara, the Hotzenberg family, in person. And I will interview other people in person if it's possible. Those 2 trips were financed by CNN and by CakeNet, so I was able to do that. But I prefer to do an in-person interview, but it's much more personable. But it just depends on the circumstances. I'm not independently wealthy, and I financed this all out of my pocket. And those were 2 opportunities that I didn't turn down. I didn't trust CNN, but I took their money and flew down there to get them access to Jay, which is what they wanted. Not to Jay, to Earl, which is what they wanted. And I got to interview those guys. It was incredible. Probably because security did have more information than that, Edvin Watkins. Yep, that's probably why they didn't blow. What's going on here? This thing is not working. Let me refresh my chat. 350 people currently here. Thank you all for being here. Come on, where's my chat? There we go. Okay. Miss Congeniality says, we were there too. I had to go back for our first interview again. Miss Congeniality, I'm sorry you had to do that, but you have to go back. You said, yeah, I have to go. So you still have to. Okay. We were born more or less the same year. You're staying behind with the younger generation. My porky fingers can't always. Okay, Bonnie, gotcha. So did I answer your question, Peter? Okay. We want to take our feather pillows with us. Is that allowed? No, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. Why would you want to do that? Your feather pillows. You get feather pillows in America. Why? What do you want Hadida feathers in your pillows? I don't understand. I'm not trying to be a smartass on a Bloom. Why would you need to bring pillows with you? There's no need for that. There's pillows in America. You can get stuffing. You can get feather pillows. You can buy whatever you want in America. Very smart Mercedes slowed down in front of my property and stared at me. I felt a little scared. Yeah. I was kind of wondering why. Okay. Would a refugee application have a negative impact? I don't think so, Sigourney. I don't think it would have any impact on that whatsoever. I mean, nothing venture, nothing gain. I don't think it has any impact on that. Lucky done interviews also that day and also done her medicals. Okay, yeah, Ananda. I wish I could call Adrian Basson all the names I want to. It would be very impolite, Barbie. It would be. Anime says, remember to please be specific in your question. I suspect your interview question was referring to the process and not the kernel. Yeah, that's what I figured. But I must say we have a lot of wealthy South Africans going through the program. There's some, Julie. I don't know about a lot. There's some. What pissed me off was standing and having a cigarette, listening to people trying to align their stories so that they all sing from the same hymn book. If they're doing that, then they're frauds, and they'll be sussed out. As they indicated in the interview, the people that interview are pretty smart. You have a case number. A lady from Kenya called, said case is pending as they require a certificate of clearance from SAPS for my 20-year-old daughter. That's possible. In the last one, Dirk Coetzee said that the Kenyans have told people to get police clearance certificates. That's an unusual situation. It must have been prompted by something they found in the background. That's what that is. But the bottom line is we don't normally trust stuff from countries there are people fleeing from. But it's your pillow. Well, then bring it. Bring it. Thank you, Colonel, for everything you do. Hope one day to meet you, says Jared Horn. Well, that's pretty cool. Can only type with one finger on my phone screen, says Jackson Million. Okay. No, it's not okay to sing stories because that's fraud. That's fraud. If you're lying to investigators, which they'll find out, you're not going to get over here. So make that dumb decision of your own accord. See how far you get. Person interviewed you as an attorney, says Napoleon. I'm not surprised, Napoleon. 47, I've had my pillow since I was 7. I'm definitely coming with me. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm very attached to my pillow. Okay, this is going a direction I wasn't expecting. Are seeds and packages allowed? Normally they're not, Maze. If they're heirloom seeds, you're going to have to check with, go to U.S. Department of Agriculture about importing seeds. You can import seeds, heirloom seeds and things like that, but you need to check. I mean, that's something that the airlines and Customs Immigration are going to talk to you about. Will I be returning South Africa sometime in the near future? Well, my Gregory, I had plans on coming, but I had to postpone them because of a medical procedure, and I don't know if and when I'm coming over. Waiting from August, filled in the form November. No contact yet, but I trust the process, says Dorothea. Well, you're very late to the process, Dorothea. Out of interest, how is the background check conducted? Well, Pat, I've discussed that as much as I can. I mean, not really willing to go into that because people are trying to game the system. How it's conducted? It's conducted by U.S. investigators in all kinds of ways, electronically, in-person interviews, records checks, all sorts of things. You'd be surprised what people can find. The pillowcases when they're not able to capture your fingerprints. Oh, police clearance. Yeah, that's what that's for, Chippy. Exactly. I don't know how people can't get fingerprints. What's going on with South African fingers? I have never... Hang on. Leslie Wilson says, I'm needing some guidance on how to move my monthly pension investment income to America. Can you advise me on some? My consultant. Leslie, my best advice is here to have a bank account where you can transfer the money across, like Capitec, which apparently is very good and costs almost nothing. Like, I think, what they say, like 150 Rand or something like that, or less than that to make a transfer. That's probably your best bet. That the way you're going to lose the least amount of money. But remember, you're going to lose money for currency conversion. You're going to lose money for fees. So you want to reduce the fees as much as possible. Got stuck in RB with my little one not being well at the time. She was my first priority. I have no idea what RB is. Speak to your financial advisor, says Utopi. Well, not everybody has a financial advisor. Yeah, I don't understand how some people don't have fingerprints or they can't get fingerprints, how you can't capture. I mean, I have fingerprinted dozens, if not hundreds of soldiers and never once had difficulty getting someone's. Oh, Richards Bay. Thank you, Jerry. Never once had any problem getting people's fingerprints. I'd never heard of that before. Did you all use like too much of the freaking, hand sanitizer during the lockdown scam? Maybe that's what happened. Enjoy the advice on packing and airport rolls during the interview. I've never been abroad, so it's nice to know what. Yeah. Also, just be patient when you go through immigration. Be polite, be respectful, and it'll go smoother for you. Tradesmen and people that work a lot with their hands and so that's common for manual laborers. Okay, that makes sense, Anime. That makes sense. Okay, those who do chemicals, I get that. Supervisor used cheap scanners from Temu. That's why they can't capture it. Okay. I applied just before Colonel announced the application and got first contact on the 2nd of December. That's impossible. That's impossible, James. You couldn't have applied before I announced it because it was announced as an executive order on the 7th of February at 5 p.m. roughly by President Trump. And by 7 o'clock, I was on the air talking about this. There was no application. There was a PRM email, which became available on the 10th of February. A statement of interest became available on the 12th of May, and then the intake questionnaire, which became available on the 4th of November. So I think your dates are a little confused there. Grinders, bricks, everything, eat your fingers. Gotcha, Deanie. Hope you're doing well. I need advice. We received our approval letter on the 5th of December saying we must be ready to fly within 2 weeks. Okay, well, obviously, Sparks, you don't follow the program very often because I've covered this many, many times and just covered it last week, and I've covered it again. All right? The email is a standard form email. It's not for you specifically. When it says you're approved and be ready to leave in 2 to 4 weeks, it's just a generic statement, okay? Doesn't mean you leave in 2 to 4 weeks. The family I just interviewed, the Stoltz family, was told to leave in 72 hours, okay? That's unusual. The 2 to 4 weeks means that if they call you in 2 to 4 weeks, you better be ready to go, all right? So get your affairs in order. Doesn't mean you're leaving 2 to 4 weeks, all right? Guys, you got to quit, acting as if, you just received the tablets from Moses coming down from Mount Sinai. These 10 commandments. They're not commandments, guys. They're not commandments. They're not laws. They're not set in stone. There are people in front of you in the queue that are being processed, and more people got processed over the holidays and didn't fly. So it just means you must be ready. You ignore it at your own peril. If you take no action and then 3 weeks down the road they tell you it's time to fly in 2 days, they shouldn't do that. But if they do that, then you're going to have to abandon everything. You don't need advice. You just need patience and understand what you received is a form email, okay? Well, yeah, that's why I don't know, Sona Bloom. You're going to have to go to the Department of Agriculture and look it up. You guys are asking me for questions that are related to customs and immigration. I can't answer that question. That's U.S. Department of Agriculture that determines what can come in this country. I can tell you won't take it to New Zealand. Those bastards won't let you take anything in there. Would a Capitec debit card work in the States? I've been told it does work here, Blue New. Why don't you have a credit card? The one you now. Oh, got you, James. Okay, all right, got you. Okay, well that was the 12th of May. That's a statement of interest. Thank you for clarifying, James. That was a statement of interest. So you may have beat me on that one, yeah, because I wasn't the first. I mean, some of my viewers actually saw that before I actually had a chance to do that video. Plus, others found it in the time it took me to load that damn video at Wimpy. Or Tempo Wi-Fi wasn't that great. Yep. All right, gotcha. That's clear, James. Thank you for clarifying. Do you maybe have any advice if I struggle with getting my unabridged birth to it? Again, that was brought up in the last video, and I didn't say I told you so because I did tell people so, and then the little evil person wrote some nonsense about me, made videos, and just polluted the whole argument. I said very clearly, you must have a birth certificate in order to get a green card, in order to apply for it. And I was told, no, that's a lie. He's lying. You can apply for a green card with that. That's not true. You must have a birth certificate to apply for a green card. You cannot apply for a green card. And this is where the person could convolute the whole story, and all these stupid people believe this idiot. I don't know why they believed her. You must apply for your green card after 1 year of continuous residence in the States. Ouch. As a refugee. You cannot apply for a green card without a birth certificate. However, as I said all along, since long before that evil shrew started watching my program and stealing my content, ever since before then, I have clearly stated that we have an exception to that. And that's Erica, who was born in Katanga, in the Congo, the Belgian Congo. She's not getting a birth certificate. She doesn't have one. She'll never get one. So there are exceptions to every rule. You can get an exception. So if you don't have an unabridged birth certificate, don't lose any sleep. Apply for it. Go to Home Affairs office that actually does their work instead of sitting around on their bums and getting larger. And when it comes, you get it. You don't need it to go through the program. You need identification. That's what this family just said, and that's what I've told people all along. This unabridged bullshit. I'm so sick of South Africa's unabridged. Who the hell gives a birth certificate without the parents' names on it? That's just asinine. Why a country ever allowed that is beyond comprehension. But you will need it to apply for a green card. And if you can't get one, then you ask for an exception. There you go. Well, then go to a different one, Evan. Some of them are assholes. Some of them aren't. Go to a different Home Affairs. You're not listening to what I just said. Or you typed it before I said it. You mentioned New York Airport only accepts credit card. No, I said the Newark Airport. I didn't say New York. I said Newark. Newark Liberty Airport. You can't go to the shops and buy food or water or drinks without a credit card. Yeah, debit cards are considered credit cards. Okay. I went into a branch. Okay. I'm with Capitec and went into a branch. Capitec works. International Rands get converted on Mac. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Same position received ours around the same time. Hang tight. Who's re-enrolling? Do not re-enroll. What is this re-enrolling? What does Spark say? So stressful. We don't want our kids to be left behind with schooling, but we also cost a lot of money. What's going on? What does Spark say? Okay. What additional medical shots will receive once in the U.S.? I would have thought it's all done. If you couldn't get it. They said some people were able to come over without their MMR because there's no MMR vaccine in South Africa. You have to get it when you get here. Why are you guys so worried about immunizations? My God. See, this is, look, I'm not attacking anybody, but gosh, I'd really, well, can I do this? Can I do that? Is your life in jeopardy or not? Do you have to get out of South Africa or not? Well, I mean, I want this, I want that. What about care for my autistic child? Well, I understand your concerns, but certainly that's not a stopping thing for coming over here, is it? Same with immunizations, same with documents. You got to get out or you don't got to get out. But I'm answering people's questions here. That's what this program is for. So this is not directed at anybody. So nobody freak out because I said that. I had issues with fingerprints. Then I lost half a fingertip. Oh, gosh. Ugh. They got some fingerprint at that fingertip. Wow. Okay. Sorry to hear that, Sumari. Yep, there it is, 150 for the transfer. There you go. See, that's a pretty good deal. 150 Rand to transfer it. That's not even $10. Wait time is longer. Replied in August already, and the advisors come back to what? Just listening to December arrivals, I'm guessing that around 1,000 people left in 20-odd days, maybe more. Well, I wouldn't say that. It wasn't 20 days. Let's go with 17 days, and let's go with a figure of 40, even though that's over the mark. 40 for 17 days. So that's not going to be 1,000 people. So we'll say 40, but that's one flight. So let's just go with 50 between two flights because it goes up and down. 50 times 17 days, okay? So 850. Yeah, so but your 1,000 is not far off the mark, okay, on the move. Sons provided their birth certificates together with their baptism. Okay. Yeah, that's for the apply for the program. That's not to get a green card. Exactly, Coco. I'll take any vaccine I need to get out. Everybody that moaned about immunization forgot that they all had it. Exactly. It was a requirement in Southampton schools back then. The hoo-ha is only ramped up because of social media. Yeah, because of Jenny McCarthy and her lunatic crowd and claiming that the immunizations cause autism. I had these immunizations. They didn't cause autism. Third world country. We were experimenting on with vaccine in the 80s and 90s. Sorry to hear that, Michelle. Heck, people, we were kids in primary. They shoved us together in a row and jabbed us. Your parents let government do it, and it was a good thing. Exactly. We didn't have measles problems. Now we have them. Yeah, because all these people from Latin America pouring in our country without immunizations. Yeah, 100%. 100%, guys. That's right. You just got lined up. You got the jabs. There was no parental consent. There was no parent permission form. That's like, it's like when we were kids, man. Hell, my dad cut the seatbelts out of the truck, man. We had steel dashboards, You hit the brakes, you went flying and you hit the dashboard, man. Oh, you know how to take a fall back then as a kid, man. We candy ass code our kids today. We ought to be feeding them dirt from the yard. At a pre-screening, I had all my documents except my birth certificate, and they never asked for it. Exactly. Do you know now, or can you say where solos are being taken to? What do you mean solos? You mean only person? They go wherever there's absorbed capacity. I mean, I don't understand your question, work people. Do you presume that there's a difference between a group of 4 or 5 and a group of 1? No, you're a refugee. You go where you have absorbed capacity. And if they can, they accommodate putting you in a place where you got skills. Not card payments. No, common sense. No. You're confusing two different things. We're not talking about using your credit card and being a charge. That's not what we're talking about. The banks make their money off the interbank rate. They make the currency exchange rate. That's where they make money. That's not what the comment was. The comment was transferring money from your Capitec account to a U.S. bank account. They charge 150 Rand is what multiple people have told us. I don't have a Capitec account. Yep. Remember when the school doctor came, we stood in a row like sheep. Exactly. You got jabbed whether you liked it or not. When I started clearing out, now I found my baby immunization certificate, handwritten and later stamped at school, carefully kept by mom. That's awesome, Deanie. Yeah, Jenny McCarthy, anti-vax was a far left thing. The lowest rate of vaccination in the United States was wealthy Vashon Island off Seattle. Yep. Then they flip for COVID. Yeah, and then if you don't get the COVID shot. Yeah, that's so funny. The left was the ones running around claiming that immunizations are bad, and then if you didn't get the experimental mRNA jab, you were bad. Yep. 8 months for my okay, had to fill in. Well, you shouldn't be waiting 8 months, Michelle. Go to another Home Affairs office. Find one that works. If you have a Home Affairs office that's responsive in your area, just put it in the chat. Go to the one in, I don't know, in Menlyn Park. Go to one here. Go one there. Just tell people where they're at, okay? Yeah, you get a hiding for denting the steel dash. Look what you did to my dash. You hit the brakes, not me. Shut up. Damn kids. Kids on the escalator again. Yeah, exactly right, Martin. Novak Djokovic moves, yeah. Yep, indeed. Let me check on something here very quickly, folks. I'm curious about something. Okay, got my answer there. Oh, wow, that jumped quite a bit. Okay. All right. They don't care for adult immunization cards. You get what you get, and you should not be upset at the medicals. Indeed. Caledon Home Affairs is really good. There you go. Thank you for that, Bourblum. I've been to Caledon. You guys know I've been to Caledon, right? That's not news. I've been to Caledon. Remember this? I was in Caledon. Thrilling Caledon.
Sunsets and sky
so blue. Mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans rolling wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave and weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people above it all. We know.
K3 in Caledon, folks. Whoops, that was back in April when I was down there. By the way, they gave that to me for free. That was very kind of them. And I've given them some promotion. Some of the Stormers have been there just a couple days before me. They signed the signature board and I signed. Yeah, so that's when I rehearse for gift delivery for the Christmas season without my reindeer. I do a zip line. That is the longest zip line in the world, by the way, in case you're wondering. Caledon, longest zip line in the world. And beautiful drive to get there, by the way, too. It is lekker. It was lekker. I got to be honest, I'm not really afraid of heights, but when I got up there and I looked down, I'm like, shit, crickets, that's a long way. That's a long way. Good Lord. No, there's no hip injury, man. You're just wrapped in there. You're like a snug, like a baby in a rug. Apocalypse Ninja says, those that got their approval in early December, if you have to fly, guess when do you think they'll fly? I don't know, Apocalypse Ninja. We've got people who have flown, a handful of people that were supposed to fly between the end of September and the early part of October, so I don't know. Hope you're doing well. Heidelberg is also good. Remember to get certified ID copies. Okay, there you go. Heidelberg's a good spot for home affairs. Thank you for that, guys. Tie your hair before you zip. It really ends. I don't have long hair. So, yeah, thank you for showing us parts of South Africa. Well, I try. Home affairs in Acacia, Pretoria North is pretty good. 4 passports in 5 days. There you go, guys. Yeah, no, hip injury. It looks like it was. I've not made the opportunity to do something like that. Not even close. Yeah, there's none near you. I think the closest one to you might be up in Mahalisburg. I've done Mahalisburg, Sarah's, and now Caledon. At least we do not know Nigeria's handing out medals. Okay. Poll. Okay, I'll do a poll real quick here. Start a poll. Okay. Okay. Status. If you, I'll put applied even for Refugee program. What is your STATUS? Okay. Did not apply. Okay, that's the first one. What was the question here? So, waiting call. Okay. I know my internet's bad, guys. It's the upload. It's not the download. Okay, wait for review. Medicals. I can't do all that. It's too, Johan, we only get 4 blocks. I can't do all that. Okay, I can't do all that. You only get 4 options here. With you guys don't know YouTube very well. There's a poll. Okay, do the one that's closest to your situation. That is pretty incredible, Michel Leroux. It was pretty fun. So I like the one. I really like the one in Mahalisburg, but they're shorter ones, but it's kind of fun. The one in Saros is pretty cool. It's some longer shots there. I enjoyed that one. You get multiple. That one's just one shot. It's the longest zip line in the world. You get one shot on the K3, you go all the way down. It was pretty cool. I was going about 142, 145 kilometers per hour, in case you're curious how fast I was traveling. Yep. You use an agency to get your certificates in 2 weeks. That's cool. Okay. You must go on the Mossel Bay. Yeah, I know that one goes over the water. I've been to Mossel Bay, and the garden route is on my next trip. So back to Mossel Bay and to George, and yeah, so that's all in the mix for next time. But next time I'll have a vehicle. I won't be dependent on someone else, so I'll be able to get back to the airport and get that interview with that famous musician who has a coffee shop in George at the airport. Yep. No, you're not required to get a COVID vaccine to come to America. That was stopped long ago. It's nonsense. Yeah, I will do the Mossel Bay. That's in the plan. No COVID vaccines. You can have it if you want it. Heidelberg is good. Okay. Okay, I think I answered those questions. Caledon is high, especially when you're not wearing a backup chute. You didn't hear me whimper, William. Nice try. Nice try. Didn't know there was a zip line in Caledon. Oh, yeah, it's the longest one in the world. In fact, the Saudis have come there to try to spy on the site because they want to build a longer one. Stopped on the way back from Cape Town, went for a visa, okay? Well, Coco, again, I only have 4 options, so then don't answer the poll. Nice. Yeah, I don't know about one in Nice. I haven't done that one. It's worth the visit. Okay, well, John, if I hit Mossel Bay, Nice is, not too far from there. So, self and my fiance went to apply for an unabridged birth certificate. Home Affairs and lady assisting us asked why we wanted it. She insisted to know why we were applying for it. Well, it's none of her business. Tell her that, Bianca Kulbrick. And if she wants to know, tell her because there's a paternity concern. Just tell them that. There's a dispute about something in the family, and we have a paternity issue we have to resolve here. That's all you have to tell them. Don't even tell them that. Tell them to, hit the road. Local radio host said today he went to the garden route this holiday. First the front garden and then the back garden. Ha ha ha. Because it's a block that you need to fill in the form. Okay, well then, yeah, then tell them. Cresta passports. Okay. All right, Lou says Cresta Home Affairs is good. Mine was in 4 days. That's pretty good. Oh, there you go, Kathy. You're doing a family tree. Exactly. And that's a legitimate reason. I have requested birth certificates and death certificates for people that were born and died over a century ago and paid for them for people who are my ancestors because I do a family history. 2 weeks, I got my passport. There you go. Personal records update. There you go. You're updating your personal records. Okay. And the cheekiest person also wanted to know, and she got very obnoxious and still waiting for it, is handy. Well, go to a different one. If you want, you could make a 2-part poll of 4 blocks each. Yeah, but that doesn't work, Anton, because then it slides up the screen and nobody can see it. I can only pin one message. Nice try. Nice try. Doesn't work. Got a call and did your pre-screening already. Okay, Coco. Cool. Okay. 200 people voted in the poll. 49% are waiting for flights. Are you serious? Almost 100 people are waiting for their flights. That's crazy. Okay, so someone asked that question before. Do I think the people that from the early December will fly out? Well, there's your answer right there. There's 100 people right here. Some of them might be in that boat. How can I fly without approval? You can't fly without approval. What are you talking about? You can't fly without approval. What are you talking about? Oh, crap. Colts are going to lose this game. They're going to lose this game. Damn it. Oh, my goodness. You're going to lose another game they should have won. Just checking the score of that game. Alrighty. So, yeah. Yeah, you're going on a holiday. Yep. Just tell me you're going to Mauritius. That's the answer I give everybody. I'm going to Mauritius, man, for the holidays. I need a passport. I got an offer. Got a free trip to Mauritius. I'm going. Somebody offered to send me there. Port Elizabeth Home Affairs, Bay West Mall. Great with everything. Just waiting months for wifey's. Okay. All right. You can't go anywhere. You can't. You better have approval. You can't just come over here. You wind up like Mr. Schoonwinkel. Well, I'm sure there are a lot more than 100, Jared, but we only have in our poll 216 votes. So that means 106 people, 105 people. Yep. And 12% of the people here didn't even apply. There you go. Cool. So that means that 24 people didn't even apply. 26 people. That's cool. That answered the poll. I didn't have one for that 440. We're just asking people who, what do you mean no contact? That's waiting for the call. That would be no contact, waiting for the call. William Wheeler saying, I didn't know medical's done before the interview. Because nothing's the same, guys. Stop, full stop. Okay, stop gaming the system. This happens, that happens. What about the emails? Do I get this? That's all bullshit. You have a skeletal crew working on this program 7 days a week. Mistakes are made. Things are scheduled out of order. If suddenly you lost a medical provider, then the people who are supposed to get medicals will have to wait longer. Suddenly a medical provider has more appointments available, then you move people up who are already in the process. You do this ahead of time. Stop gaming the system. Do what you're told when you're told, and end of it. That's it. Okay? Stop worrying about this stuff. There is no path. This comes, then that comes, then that comes. There is a path for the U.S. You have to complete this, 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 you have to do this, and then you go out the door. That's for them to worry about. But the way that you fall in that process may be disjointed. Just do what they tell you when they tell you. All right? Simple as that. Exactly. You paid a company in November, got it in 2 days. Because they lied to you, because they're lazy shits. Shiftabouts who collecting paychecks doing nothing. Car hijacking happening. The driver drove his car to security, jumped out and ran to the hospital grounds to be safe. Wow, that's crazy, Ananda. No beer. What's with the beer? Applied in May. I was told about. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Leanne Justa. That's exactly my point. That's what happens. Okay. May's Edenvale was a cesspool of corruption. Yeah. Okay. Are there banks also asking for the reason? Not to my knowledge. Just tell people you're going to Mauritius, man. That's all you have to do. You're going on a holiday. You have to have a passport, leave the country. Agree with the Colonel. They do whatever they can, when they can. The process is just a guideline. Exactly. Now, everything must be done. If this isn't complete, you're not going. If this isn't complete, but that's not for you to worry about. That's for them to worry about. They're the ones who get in trouble if they send someone who doesn't have a completed process. You just do what they tell you when they tell you. Be where you need to be. That's all you need to worry about. Don't worry. This whole obsession with... Well, I have my medicals. Well, I'm waiting for this. Let go. Let go. You're just giving yourself unnecessary stress. All right? But I did this, but I've done that, but I have an approval letter. It doesn't mean anything until they contact you with a flight date. Okay? Okay, guys? Now, come on, Chris. You were in the military. You must have done skydiving. I'm not complaining about a zip line. Who's complaining about a zip line? I love the zip line. That was me. That was me on that zip line. Going 142 kilometers. I loved it. It was great. Fantastic. I'm not complaining about it. Exactly. Martin Fundamental just made a point. Every interview I've done with refugees, they all have different stories. Similarities, but different stories. Yep. Waiting for approval, orientation, and flight details. Patiently, but with excitement. Yep. Okay. Peace out. Hey, Maze. Have a good night. Feel better. Waiting for approval, orientation, and flight details. Patiently but with excitement. Okay. What were those chips you like we need to bring over? that was the Lay's barbecue. The ones in South Africa taste so much better than ours. So much better than ours. Yeah. You don't have to bring that over, guys. I need 3 rugby cards to complete my rugby card collection. Then I want to give. Wow, that's amazing, James. Thanks. That's amazing. I will put that in some sort of thing. I'll get it formatted or whatever. That'd be cool. Rikus asked a question about some questions. Okay, Dini, I'll look for Rikus. I didn't see any Rikus in the chat. Chaos Juggler, Benjamin, Leon, students, Sean. I don't see any Rikus. I'm still going back. There it is. He told me he got something. Okay. Still going back. I don't see any Rikus. Just that one statement. There it is. Please, can you share the questions asking any of you that Naomi spoke about for preparation? No, I can't because it's like several pages long. You can get it from one of the groups. Hang on a second here. Where did I put that at? That was on that drive. Open a new window. Okay. Which folder was this? Desktop files. That's where I put it. So I can show it on the screen, template, but I can't share it. I can't share files here. So, yeah, I'm reticent to do this. I don't really like doing this, but I'll do it. So you'll have to get it from one of the groups, and we'll have to get it put back up in the groups. So that's the one right there. So can I go full screen? So let me just increase it. So here you go. So following documents, a courtesy offering compiled by one of my moderators to assist folks who may be interested in the U.S. refugee resettlement offer. Neither my moderator nor I work for, nor are we affiliated with the U.S. in any way with the U.S. government. The purpose of these crib sheets is to assist you in compiling on your own use data which an interviewer is likely to ask you when you sit down for refugee resettlement interview to relocate to the U.S. The list may not include all-inclusive things you may be asked. Remember, the interviewer has a responsibility to ensure that only qualified applicants who present no threat to Americans are allowed to enter the U.S. We make no promises nor suggest the form helps you with your application. The line of questioning is one shared by a source who went for a second preliminary interview during the March fact-finding. So, yep, that's the sort of things they might ask you right there. Phone numbers, private numbers you worked at in the last 5 years, email addresses, professional, private, international travel history, family details. Okay, and then family in the United States if you have any. Okay. Group organizations you're affiliated with, residential history, work history for the last 10 years, medical issues if you have any, if you have a criminal record, fingerprinting history, reason for seeking refuge, preferred location U.S., social media accounts. And people said, oh, they won't ask you social media accounts. They won't ask you. I said, yeah, they will. And then, well, they did. They do check your social media accounts. You just heard that from the interview there. And then just recently announced that they're doing it for visas now, not just for refugees. I always told you going to check your social media. Okay. Medical history, indemnity. So there you go. So that was 6 pages long. So that's something that Hendo put together based on an interview that I did. And then I put that thing all together. So there you go. Anyway, that you can get. I mean, you don't need that, and you're not being coached or guided by me. That's just common sense from my perspective. But I'm federal law enforcement official, so to me, common sense isn't the same thing for everybody. Yeah, it was posted today during a previous live stream and interview. Thank you. Okay, 252 votes now. People who had tourist visas, U.S. and U.K., had their visas revoked because they applied for the program. Do this with info, you will. That's news to me, Napoleon. I've not talked to a single person who had their tourist visa revoked. Some people have 10-year visas. I've not heard that. That's news to me. If asked about the passport and birth certificate, answer the question with a question. And why are you asking? Yeah. LZ says, if you ever come back to the Heidelberg area, I will bring you the best chocolate chip cookies. Okay. Thank you for that, LZ. Yeah, Heidelberg is not too far out of the way. Yep. I usually pass by it. Headed down to KZN. I never post anything on social media. Well, social media is just one aspect, Evan. They're just looking to see if you're a racist or a bigot or you advocate for violence or something like that. That's all they're looking for. They're not going to get you for saying the ANC are a bunch of turds. They're not going to get you for that. That's not going to stop you. Remember 3 months or so ago, the poll would have started 90% plus not contacting. Now it's 47% waiting for flights. Yeah, well, thank you, Neff. That's a good point. That's a good point. If asked about that is a very good point. You're right. When we did this poll 3 months ago, most people had not been contacted. Now look at this now. Almost half the people here are just waiting for their flight. Everything's done. See, there you go. That's pretty impressive. And consider that 12% didn't even apply. So that's 24 and 12, that's 36 people didn't even apply. So of the 250, so that's, So that means 25, 35, 41% are in the process and 46% are waiting for flights. So more people waiting for flights than are in the process based on the poll. But that's not scientific. Oh, yes. Well, then we'll cancel your tourist passport once you're approved for the program, but not because you've applied for it. Well, thank you, Guy. Freya's here. Check airlines baggage items allowed. I had to remove items at the airport because South Africa won't allow them. Oh, I didn't know you were here, Freya. You're over here too. Okay. My tourist visa is still good for 7 years. I took my 8 expired passports along, and they asked about every trip. There you go. Your sometimes harsher answers. It's sometimes well, I'm not harsh, Werner. People are just crybabies. I'm not harsh. There's a lot of crybabies. A lot of crybabies, man. Oh, there are really a lot of crybabies out there. Yep. I've only ever been harsh one time. People remember when that was. If you have a British passport, this will affect chance of refugee application. Did you not watch the video we just did, snippets? Did you miss the interview we just did? Somebody with an EU passport, they're here. It depends on the primary applicant. Jan Engelbrecht, yes, case is under review. It's always under review. That dashboard is more of a headache than it's worth. People freaking out over that. They ask you when you started using email account. Too long ago to remember. Well, I know when I started using email accounts. 1980s. 10-year work visa. They said only if refugee status issued. Exactly. That's when they cancel it. But they won't cancel it before then. Told my family they know I've gone through many passport controls and checks that I will check their luggage to ensure they don't pack anything not allowed. Okay. Yeah, don't resign anything, but don't quit your job until you've got tickets. Don't quit your job until you got tickets. What if you get delayed? Look at all the people that didn't get out in October, late September, October. Some of them in a real bind. Some of them in a real bind, folks. Well, I want the details back as far as I asked for them, Rikus. I don't know how far back. I've been traveling internationally since 1984. Not Fritos, Lay's. Oh, yeah, the dogs in Newark will definitely lick their lips if you have built tongue. Yeah. No, you said, wow, so that's so high. Oh, yeah. Oh, gotcha. Well, I don't know what happened to my previous passport. Well, then just give them the best information you can. Dr. Goose, Colonel, thanks for all your hard work. God bless you. By the way, is your family Deutsch? I have German ancestry. That's correct. But I also have English and Danish and Irish, Norse. I'm a Northern European Viking. My surname is Danish originally, became Norman, French Norman, and then became English over centuries. Yep. My first ancestors arrived in Jamestown in 1621, the first royal governor of the Jamestown colony of Virginia, because they were company lawyers or company governors before that. But the first royal governor was Sir Francis Wyatt, my 17th great uncle. We've been here since 1621 without interruption. So 400 years in America, longer than South Africans, than European South Africans been there. No, I don't care if the balsamic, like the barbecue. Some people will lose their benefits if they not give 30 work notice days. That's why they quit in time. Okay, well then, whatever. Then do what you have to do. I don't understand what benefits. You do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. I mean, whatever. But I'm just saying, if you quit your job and you get your flight delayed, then you're in a bind. So you do what you got to do. You don't change Social Security numbers, old expats pen. Your Social Security number is for life. It doesn't change. Still doesn't answer my question. I don't know. Okay, well, snippets, if you're the primary applicant, your British passport, you're not coming here. You can go to the UK. You can go to the UK. Do you have a family member, a spouse that meets the standards? Then have that person apply. Or are you the person that meets the standards? I don't understand how that's not answering your question. I don't understand that. Well, it's great, Sumery. Fine. I mean, I don't disagree. 2 weeks' notice is appropriate in America. Whatever it is there, do what you got to do. Yeah, exactly. William's like, I'm not quitting anything until I have confirmation letters and tickets. Exactly. So what happens if the government shuts down January? You quit your job. Say, I quit January 1st because I'm going to leave in February. You give them 30 days notice. And then the government gets shut down for 3 months. What are you going to do between now and May? I would pack a suitcase. Why would you want a Pep Store bag? I don't understand that. Suitcase. But suitcases aren't cheap. That's why people ask about Pep Store, I guess. Don't worry about resigning. If you're gone, they can't fire you. Exactly. Strutting in USA says, I have American heritage. Your family goes back to 1411. Not in the USA. Not unless you're Native American. There's no Americans in 1411 in North America. Nobody. The first Europeans arrived didn't come until 1492 in the Caribbean. That was with Columbus sailing the ocean blue. So unless you have like some Viking ancestry that didn't stay in North America, or they were in Greenland, or you're a Native American, you wouldn't have had that. But I guess what you're saying is you have your family history back to 1411. I have mine back to year 552, I think it is. No quitting till tickets in hand worries me because it doesn't feel ethical to quit at short notice. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate where you're coming from, guys. But you have to make a decision what's best for you. 27,000, 10-year UK visa cancel on 15 December email. UK VI falsely claimed retrospectively that I traveled to the U.S. and sought to remain. You traveled to the U.S., rookie driver? My company, if you work here longer than a year, you need to give a month's notice. All right, well, there you go. Then give them a month's notice. And maybe you can live off that money. Hopefully it will work. Opinion for transporting PC components for work. I wouldn't bring much in the way of PC. Take your solid-state drive out of your computer. Take your laptop, take your storage device, and leave the computer. Computers are cheap. Just bring your data. And I just load all the data. If you load all the data on a frickin' on a cloud, then you wouldn't have to worry about it, depending on how much data you have. Suitcases are cheap? No, they're not. Where are you buying yours at? In the local market? I bought suitcases in South Africa. The best I can do for a quality suitcase is 2,000 Rand. That's on sale. They will cry if you quit their job and are in a bond. What's this? Some people are so unrealistic, but then people, yep. Chuck Coe says, thank you for your work. My wife and I made the call. Only upon reflecting, we realized how normalized our consistent state of fear we're living. Yeah, no. You guys all have post-traumatic stress disorder and don't even know it. I know South Africans. You got post-traumatic stress disorder, almost every South African, black, white, and brown. Pack clothing, a suitcase, or bag. I've seen many different opinions shared. Well, I mean, you do what you got to do, but I travel with a suitcase every time I go somewhere. I used to travel with 2 suitcases, but these shyster, cheap-ass, rip-off airlines only let you have 1 now. Lily said a Pep Store bag is also good if you can be, if you want to do it. I mean, so why are you guys asking me then? They should have. I mean, first off, the refugees have traveled once between South Africa and the United States. I've traveled dozens and hundreds of times back and forth to South Africa, okay? On these flights, okay? California was wonderful once upon a time. I don't live there anymore. That's all I need to know. It's nice for some. Still have a job. Yeah, it is. Between the last 2 interviews with refugees and Lily's session, for I think all my questions have been answered. Well, does that mean you're not going to come back, Elsie? Well, you want to buy a quality suitcase that will last multiple years. Refugees don't need that. Refugees need a case that lasts 1 trip. Yeah, you say that, but it's not 1 trip. You're going to fly to a second location, so it's got to make it through there to the airport and get on to the next flight. And you may very well likely travel to the United States. So do what you got to do. Suitcases don't last anyway. they break them. I mean, I bought that cheap Chinese suitcase in game at Canal Walk back in 2022. The damn wheel broke off when I loaded in the back of the car, in the boot of the car out there in Gordons Bay. It broke right off, so I had to roll it on 3 wheels to the airport. Piece of shit, still have it. I haven't thrown it away yet, I don't think. And then I bought another one last year when I was there, which is fantastic, still great. So guys, you know, do what you got to do. Don't sleep early, sometimes not at all. Yep. Walmart or Costco's? I prefer Costco's, but they're very different shopping experiences. Costco, the problem with Costco now is they built a new one finally after waiting forever, and it's closer than the other one, but it still takes a half hour to get there. That's too long. I mean, if I can get Costco in 10 minutes, that's fine, but I can't get there. Also, their gasoline prices aren't better than BJ's, so I go to BJ's. Walmart, it depends. There's a massive Walmart in Carlisle, and there's another Walmart in Camp Hill. Both of which are relatively close to me. Both take about 20 minutes to get to. The one in Camp Hill is okay. The one in Carlisle is amazing. It's huge. Outdoor section, grocery store in it. It's amazing. The other one is grocery store too, but the grocery store is a fraction of what the one is in Carlisle. So it depends. The big Walmarts, yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, there's a big one on the Carlisle Pike that's a Walmart that's massive, and that's where Sam's Club is at too. That one's huge. Alrighty, guys, I've got to stop here. I've got to run and get some steamed crabs. So I'm going to thank you all for being here. Be sure to hit the like button. Let me close the poll. 44% of the people are waiting flights. 15% didn't apply. So 15 out of 300, that's about 42. It was 293. So the 45% are waiting. That's 90. And 100, there's about 130 people waiting for flights. That's a big change from what it was when we did this in the past. That was a good point that was made. Let me save that result. Downloads. That's where I want that there. Cool beans. Thanks, guys. God bless. You just joined. Well, I'm sorry, Bella, but I have to go. This is my 3rd broadcast today. I have things I have to do too. Pet bags are not good for travel. You need to carry that bag, suit bag, all the way to the next boarding plane. You pay $9 for trolley. Yeah, that's, you know, people do what you want. I've given my advice, okay? Large hard shell suitcase from Chinese store for $550. There you go. Well, that'll last one time. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button. I will do a Night Owls later tonight. Hopefully the internet will be acting better then. It's been acting like a turd all day today. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button. How are we doing like button? We got 319 likes. We could have done better than that, couldn't we? This is the smallest Kaffee Klatsch we've had in a while, but I think it's because the hour and also the fact that we just had that other Refugee interview. Cheers.